Good evening. I'm William Ferguson. This is Common Sense. And tonight, I am so sick and so tired of hearing over and over and over and over President Trump is some kind of Russian spy. He colluded with the Russians. Everybody in the White House has been colluding with the Russians since the campaign, since the election. And it just is still going. It's unbelievable. But then that's not the only thing that I hear over and over. And it's the climate change thing. Over and over and over. I watched a video of some meteorologists and climate scientists, and they read a report from 1922 that said exactly the same thing that they're saying today. It's useless. All right? Don't believe what you're hearing on the mainstream news. It's fake. It's false. They're trying to push a narrative that is a lie. The world is not going to end in 2030. Nobody knows when the world is going to end. Climate change is a lie in order to tax corporations, to take money. It's all that they're doing. They're spreading this lie, and they want the voters to vote for the Democrats because they're spreading these lies about climate change, and they're going to fix it. Oh yeah, we'll tax the corporations and we'll take the money, and that will fix climate change. It will fix the pollution in the world. No, it won't. The United States isn't the biggest polluter. We're not even second. I don't even know if we're third. India's first, China's second. So are they going to go over to India and China and say, well, you have to do it too? And that's why President Trump got out of the Paris Accord, because all it was a money pit. It was a scam. All they wanted was the United States to pay money to whoever wanted money, I guess. The UN. The UN is nothing but a giant money scam anymore. Everything is about money or power. And I think that's why the mainstream media and the Democrats keep saying the same thing over and over and over. And that's all you hear is about President Trump being some kind of a criminal that should be locked up, hung, stabbed, shot, and the rest of that. And climate change, of course, is one. Speaking of climate change, I was watching, and it struck my attention because it was an Oxford professor giving a speech about climate change. And now remember, this guy is an Oxford professor. He teaches. And he was blaming climate change on alien abductions so that they can make hybrid humans from aliens and humans. And the man has to be completely out of his mind. There are no such thing as aliens from outer space, okay? It just boggles my mind what people will believe. But when you keep hearing it over and over and over, you tend to believe it. And that's how I believe that the Muslims believe Muhammad was some kind of great prophet from Allah, God, which he wasn't. And I've been listening to, I can't remember his name. His name is David. But he's well read, on the Quran. He's reading the Quran. He's read the Quran, and some of the things that Muhammad doesn't suggest, but lays down as law. This is law. If they don't believe the way you do, kill them. If your wife doesn't do what you want her to do, you beat her until she does. And the Democrats, they would tell me, oh, you're racist because you don't accept Muslims. Okay, it's not the Muslim. It's the belief. It's the way they live. I don't accept that. No person in the United States should accept that. There should not be a Muslim in Congress at all, ever, because of their religious beliefs. This country does not believe in violence in order to get somebody to do something, especially a woman. You don't hit women, ever. Ever. I don't care who she thinks she is. You don't hit women. Men don't. Not in this country. And yet we have 2 women in Congress that believe it's all right. Go ahead. If she doesn't do what you want, beat her. And if it's really something bad, take her out and stone her. If it's worse than that, cut her head off. They believe that. And you can tell it over and over and over and over. It's not the religion that we dislike. It's the hatred that they carry with them that we dislike. We don't want that. The world doesn't want that, except for Muslim populated countries. Austria, they have banned mosques, Muslim mosques. They're shutting them down. You can't wear a burqa. No. You can't cover your face. Covering your face means you're hiding something. We don't want you hiding something from us. And if you're not going to assimilate into our society, we don't want you. The United States is a country of peace, not of bullies, of hatred, evil, anti-Semitism, and all the rest of that. But the Democrats are trying to push it over and over and over. They're saying, oh, you're prejudiced, you're prejudiced, you're prejudiced. President Trump, because he put the ban on certain countries where radical Islamists are, the Democrats in Congress decided that, oh, he's prejudiced because he doesn't want Muslims in our country. No, he doesn't want radical Islamists in our country that are violent. And the people just don't want to understand that. It's ridiculous. This is our country. You're living in today. That's all you're thinking about is today. Oh, today was a good day. Today was a pretty good day for me. I fixed my truck, but now it won't run. But it'll run here after a while. I had to take my air conditioner apart on my roof and found out that it's not really working right. Okay, that's fine. But I did get the seal put on the front of it. So the rain won't leak through. Is that going to be my life for the rest of my life? No, that's here now. That's today. But think about this. You put in to the presidency of this country a Democrat that is willing to back up the Muslims and say, oh, well, if you don't like the Muslims, then you're prejudiced. If you don't accept the Muslims, then you're prejudiced. And so they let the Muslims do whatever they want. Is that what we want? War? We want another Crusades? In case you don't know what the Crusades were, it was a Christian king that decided he was going to send his knights out to completely destroy the Muslims. Okay? And it would have been better off in this whole world if they would have. But there are people that would say, oh, that was so cruel, that was so prejudiced, that was so anti-everything. No, it wasn't. That was trying to remove the evil from this planet. And it's sad because my youngest daughter now is in college, and I am afraid that she is going to get sucked in to this liberal idealism that the professors of this country are trying to pump into the minds of these young people that really have no life experiences. They don't have the ability to differentiate good from evil. They don't know that the professors are feeding them full of this liberal garbage. Socialism is wrong. Liberalism is wrong. Being gay is wrong. It's absolutely wrong, period. And this partying at college. Is that what you want? You paid your hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to college so you can get drunk? You could have stayed home and saved yourself a lot of money. And the thing is when you get out of college with your degree, what are you going to do with it? My sister came out with a degree and she ended up carving ice with a chainsaw. Wow, a lot of good that degree did. But there are people that will come out with degrees that they can use. But there are kids in college that they're paying for useless pieces of paper. They're absolutely worthless. It's junk. And all they do is get their heads full of socialist, Democrat, me, give me. And that's all they get. You've got the Democrat socialists trying to sell the idea that we're going to give away free college tuition. Well, who's going to pay for it? It would be the taxpayers ending up paying for it. And then what happens? Well, then corporations say, oh, I don't want to pay that tax, and so they up and leave. And then the step down, they say, we're not going to pay that tax, so they up and leave. Then what do you have? You have an impoverished nation that is oppressed and tyrannized by a dictatorship. I know about dictatorships. I've been to countries that are third world countries. Why? Because they live under dictators. My mother came from England, and they lived under a monarchy, which is basically the same thing, only a different word. It's still socialism. And they were beat into the ground. But the kids, you kids out there, if there are any youth out there listening to this, you are being fed so much garbage by CNN, MSNBC, all the rest of them, by your college professors, by the people on social media. It's garbage. They're feeding you trash. It's Satan. Satan is trying to lie to you to get you to follow him. You don't want to follow him. I guarantee you don't want to follow him. I followed him for too long. But then God came and said, look, come here. I want you to follow me. And I'm going to show you something, and you're going to thank me afterwards. And it was amazing what he did, because I had smoked for 40 years plus, and I was able to give up cigarettes by using an e-cigarette, and I just gave it up. I never thought I'd be able to give up cigarettes. And then I quit drinking, and I had drank hard for a lot of years, at least 35 years, and I gave it up, and that was it. It wasn't hard. The hard part was getting it out of my mind that it was going to be hard. In fact, I accomplished something today. I jumped over something that had been bothering me since I was 2 years old. My older sister pushed me out a window, and I landed on a brick. There's a scar on my chin. And I've always had a fear of falling. Well, today I told myself, I said, look, I'm going to quit telling myself over and over and over that I have a fear of falling or a fear of heights. And so I conquered that. I climbed up a straight up ladder on the back of my trailer, got on the roof, and I was fine. There was nothing wrong there. I didn't fall off. I didn't bust my head open. I climbed up there and it was fine. I got over that fear of falling, fear of heights. And that just showed me that God is working in my life to make me a better man. And if you accept God into your life and ask Him to help you get over the sins and those things that are not natural in life, smoking, drugs, alcohol, immoral sex, all of it. Ask God to help you with it, and you can get rid of it. And on top of getting rid of it and feeling a lot better, it saves you a lot of money. I promise you it does. I have more money even though I have nothing. I'm comfortable with where I am. And I thank God that I was not raised Muslim. I do, or Buddhist, or Hindu, or any other. I was blessed to be born in this country. And because I was blessed, and God has given me so much, I have to give back to Him. Not because it's a law or a rule, but it's because inside me, I feel it's the right thing to do for God, because God loves me, and God loves you too. That's all I've got for now. I ask that you pray for the president, the leadership of this country. I ask that you pray for the first responders, military and such, that God will watch over them all. And please, pray for the Jewish and the Christian. We are being so beaten down and terrorized by a lot of it Muslims. And pray for the Muslims that their eyes would be open to know the real, the one true living God. I thank you for watching. I'm William Ferguson, and this is Common Sense.